So here's a little tip for you when you're knitting and you notice that in the row that you're working on you've made a little mistake. An easy way to go back and fix it without having to take all your stitches off your needle and go back and rip it out and then go and put them all back on, which can be kind of a process. There is a process of unknitting your work, and some clever knitter out there decided to call it tinking, which is the word knitting spelled backwards, or knit spelled backwards. And that's basically what you're going to do. To create a knit stitch, of course, you put your needle into the stitch, loop it around, and pull it through. Well, to do that backwards, you would put your needle back into the hole, the loop that's just underneath the loop that's now on your right hand needle. That's the stitch just below. So you would put your needle tip right back in there, slip your right hand needle out, and just take that loop off. So for instance, you can see for the 5th stitch back here, I purled accidentally. And so I'm going to undo these 5 stitches, including the one that is the mistake, so that I can fix that without having to, 5 rows from now, go back and drop the stitch down to fix it. So if you give your work a little bit of a tug, kind of stretch it out and pull it apart, you can see that loop right there. You can see my finger kind of highlighting it. Put your needle tip right through there, and then just let this needle come out. And if you're giving tension to your working yarn at the time that you do it, it's just going to unknit itself as you go. So we'll undo 2 more, or we'll tink 2 more. And now this is the stitch that I made a mistake on. That's the purl stitch. And to untink, or to tink a purl stitch, I guess would be lerp, but I don't think anyone actually says that. You would go through just the same way. If you're on the knit side, you would go in as if to knit and take that out. Undoing stitches purlwise is basically the exact same idea, except you're going to go in as if you were purling. So let's purl a few, and then if we want to go back and undo that, so your purl stitch, it's basically reverse engineering. You go in like that, wrap it around, and pull it off. Well, to go in reverse order, you'd put that right back through the way it just came and pull off your purl stitch that way. So that is tinking purlwise.